Alright, so I'm wondering if I do gotta make it in two parts, so hold on. Trying to see if I can reconnect to the same one. Nope. Okay, so I'm gonna have to rename it to part one and part two. Alright, so that's when I do this. Goes YouTube Studio, content, recents, live. This one. 1-2. Close the brackets. Save. This one. 2-2. Close the brackets. Alright. Yeah, so my router pretty much just fucking died. That's what happened. So, what he was saying was, just so you're aware, you didn't find a problem. You may have found a problem, but you didn't solve the problem.
What do you mean we didn't solve the problem?
Well, to be frank.
Or do you mean the... You mean the one with the guy who we probably shouldn't talk about?
The stream's not up.
I'm working on it. Give me a sec.
Oh, sorry.
I have to recollect everything. It's like I'm setting back up. Hold I've got to reinvite Tori and everything.
It's like Tetra's like, I think they want a burrito.
So
that's right.
Just so you may have solved a problem. So like, congratulations, you found what has been making our cattle and children go missing. However, we got bigger problems.
Oh, you mean how everyone's poisoned?
And it's now worsened. Just the last 2 nights, we have found out that there's a new strain being, I guess, mutated. Lots of the Grimbards in the Royal Palace have grown.
Royal Palace? It's a fucking keep! Or, oh wait, you mean like the actual Royal Palace?
They've gone feral.
What do you mean, feral?
When was the last time you saw Your Highness and Your Majesty order a war against their own people over petty theft?
I don't know. What do you mean, Your Highness and Your Majesty? Isn't the family led by a council of elders? And what
think
palace?
The people that they answer to.
Oh. What?
Nose just broke out.
It
doesn't matter. We're going to be in the line of sight. We're about to be casualties of war. The city's about to be evacuated.
Won't the alchemists stop them from touching the Grimbard home? Because...
Do you think they really care when they're not sane in their own brain because they're pretty much being controlled by some sort of mutated poison that's parasitic in a way?
Couldn't a paladin or healer cure them?
You would need one hell of a fucking healer. I'm pretty sure the keeper of her nature herself wouldn't even be able to help this. Not without the crystal being cleansed. Or, just remove the problem as a whole. Nobody's home, go away.
Also, I love how Pyro has started giving all of them Russian accents, despite the fact that that was supposed to be a Greg only trait.
You can only blame yourself.
No, because when you voiced Greg's dad, you didn't give him a Russian accent. So then it became the joke that only Greg has the accent.
Nah, it's become the joke that now his dad is the only one who doesn't have the accent.
Apparently, everyone else, Slavic. Greg's dad, for some reason, American.
So, I must, like I said, within the past few days, we've been slowly evacuating out of the town. We're getting ready to head towards the keeps. If not, that's safe. We're probably going to start heading south towards the desert. The Well of Dragons is probably going to be the safest place.
That's troubling. But you know, there goes Nova. Do you know, who we could take to perhaps sell this for parts of it? I don't know what useful things you could get out of this, but I know more Monster Hunter members of the family would.
Why don't you try the shaman down the road? They'll find some sort of use for this, especially its pelt.
Thank you. Also, I like to imagine, for some reason, when Victoria left it at the door, Tetra just kept bringing it in. Victoria turns around to see, oh, it's actually in the store. Casually pushes it out, pretending like, yep, totally meant to do this.
Tetra's just like, I understood some of what you were saying.
Did you at all? You speak Orcish?
I think you want a burrito.
No. The hell is a burrito?
And she's like, she's like, so.
Yeah, I think you asked where the bathroom was.
She's like, what did he say?
He said, your mother's a hoe.
Don't be putting words in my mouth, damn it.
No, Victoria
You're
said,
already wanted. I'll add that to the bounty.
And
that's apparently a crime. No, Victoria doesn't actually say that.
Tetra's like, Tetra just walks up and she's like, pardon me. I can't understand Orcish. Would you mind telling me what you told me?
We were talking about
Long story short, the royal
some
family is
personal
fucked.
matters.
They're doing weird shit that they would never dream of doing in a million years. Now the continent is about to be thrown into a civil war. We're in the line of sight, so we're booking it the hell out of here. And we're taking that with us. And he's pointing to the Wendigo.
Was there any kind of clues that you saw before they went bananas cream pudding?
They're poisoned. They've gotten the same contagious as all of us, except their strand is more developed, more mutated, more... I can't even... parasitic. They've taken over the mind like illithids.
And she's like, I see. I think I might have some ideas. And she's like, Victoria, this sounds very familiar to me. I've seen a lot of things in my time.
By the way, Melanie, at this point you can understand everything. Like, everyone is now speaking comments, so you're in on this.
Nah, Victoria.
I'm just waiting for another cup of coffee. That's kind of why I cleared my throat.
Victoria,
he's just going to like still eyes locked in the Wendigo, pour another lump of sugar and just hand it back.
As Victoria's tiny ass is trying to push the Wendigo out.
So Tetra's like, I think we need to. I think something very wrong is happening here. So I think what we should do is I can call on my patron and see if they know anything about what's going on.
Everyone knows what's going on. It's the fact that the crystals are dying because of the curse that Jackish put on them. So because they can't balance out the elements like they used to, everything has slowly decayed and necroted to the point where the water supply is now poisoned, and because it's literally the only thing they can drink, because even the water is poisoned from the rain, because, water cycle, it doesn't cleanse itself.
Oh.
But because they have been poisoned for so long, it's literally began to mutate and grow parasitic. So now it is taken over.
So wouldn't it actually be a disease rather than a poison? Because a poison itself can't mutate.
No. They use the term poison broadly. They're not sure what to call it because the source is from the water. Because the crystal of water, which is home to Forun, which is where you're at, cannot cleanse the water itself anymore of the entire planet. So they just use the term poison broadly because they don't know what to call it. It is not a poison, but they call it poisoned.
Okay.
Because the term contaminated seems a little bit too worse of a broad term, so they decide to narrow it down. Who is texting me at this hour? Oh, watch of some of today's most watched reels. How about no? So, Melanie, what are you doing besides listening to this old man ramble and just casually hand you coffee? Or at least their version of coffee, since they don't actually have coffee.
I'm doing just that. That's all I'm doing.
So Tetra's like,
make me a vitality check real quick. But go ahead, Connor. Yes, and go ahead, Connor.
Tetra's like, so what do we do? How do we handle this situation? Anyone got any ideas?
Well, according to your friend here, Mr. Book already has an idea.
And Tetra's like, then I know where I gotta go. And she's like, I'm going over to find Nisha. Are you coming?
I'm gonna take this to the shaman down the road.
And she's like, I'm gonna go meet with him and see if he has any ideas on this, on what we should do.
Victoria's gonna make some money. That's what she's doing.
So as you guys exit out of the orc's shop, you're dragging the Wendigo on the sled. Melanie's following behind, just drinking coffee, and she's like, one more to go. He pours it, whatnot. You'll see Luna and Nisha exit out of the tavern. She's once again having her face stuffed in Nisha's jacket as he's just walking around with literally just his normal clothes without the jacket. Just as I thought I would find you. Still taking care of that beast, I see. Any luck finding a way to get rid of it?
Yep.
Well, we did just find something out, kind of, but I'm willing to wager you already know.
Well, humor me, because I myself know fuck all. However, the book seems to know lots.
And she's like, well, what does your book say?
Well, about what topic? And he starts flipping through what few pages are filled in. There's like 9.
About what your plan is for what we're supposed to do.
Well, as of right now, the only thing that I've got marked down to what we're supposed to be doing is to find the temple which bears the crystal of water.
Where should we start?
Asking around or reading up on it would be my best guess.
Well, who do you think would be the best person we should ask about this?
A librarian? That seems to be my main place to go for any kind of knowledge. And Luna down in here seems to...
Vitality check is 18.
Well, if we're going to talk to a librarian, we gotta make...
The amount of caffeine in that coffee is the equivalent of 12 monsters, and you just consumed 4 cups of it.
So right now,
I only had 2. What do you mean?
And he handed you one to go.
Oh, okay, and that makes 3. I haven't drank it yet.
But either way, like one of those has the equivalent of like 12 monsters of caffeine.
Congratulations, your heart stopped.
Nope, I got the zoomies. You forget, I'm not human.
Yeah, but can you drink like an orc can? Because I
mean, I sit here and I
you're
can
in
take
the
a
double
12-pack.
digits of
Hang on.
thousands.
Listen, because IRL, as a human, I can drink 6 monsters, 3 sodas, 4 cups of coffee with espresso in it, shit tons of sugar, mind you, in the coffee as well.
That does
And
not
then
mean
top
your
that off
heart
with
won't
a
contain.
double shot espresso cold drink from the fucking cooler from a Starbucks drink on top of all of that. So this
Yeah.
ain't shit.
that's not
Mind you,
healthy.
my coffee is Death Wish coffee. So
So you're just like, keep it coming, put the button on, get away.
no, she's just waking up is all.
So I'd like to point out your character is partially human because you're an alu fiend, right?
Yes.
Yes, but she's not full human.
Yeah.
Her and Melanie both take on traits mostly from her father. Their father.
So the infernal side of them
Yes.
does that fortify them against
Caffeine? That and the
against
ADHD, I would
the,
assume, yes.
the way orcs drink? Because
I'm about to backhand somebody.
I volunteer studio.
So Tetra says, she's like, it's like, oh, does anyone have any fish or anything?
nope.
No. I fed you all the fish.
And she's like,
At least the fish I had.
and she's like, so Tetra's gonna for any small animal she can consume.
Make me a perception check.
You Tetra gets the entire party arrested for eating someone's pet.
Nope, we are not doing that.
You said any small animal she can consume.
Any small animal that she wants to consume. But she's not going to consume someone's dog. She may be insane, but she's not mean. She knows the value of a dog.
So she's selective in which animals she eats.
Like pigeons and rats she'll probably eat. But
what if
not
someone
one.
befriended that pigeon?
What if
You
that was
monster.
someone's carrier pigeon?
Yeah,
Perception check.
monster.
16.
Okay. So you see a various number of crows and ravens that you slowly realize they've been following you since you've killed that Wendigo.
Tetra's tail launches out. And she just like she's like hunches over so nobody can see what she's doing. But needless to say, you hear what sounds like a lot of bone crunching. And she's like,
No matter how many
Okay.
times I'm going to hear it, I'm never going to get over that sound.
and she's like, it's like, okay, I'm done, nevermore.
Victoria immediately clocks Tetra on the head. Just fucking pistol whip.
And she's like, by the way, did anyone notice that those birds seem to be following us?
What now?
The birds. They're following us. Ever since we killed that thing, they're following us. Does anyone else notice that?
Now that you mention it, it is a little odd.
No,
I didn't notice it, but it's a little creepy that you mention it.
Should we do something?
nah. Fireball.
If only Manea was here.
Or Jack.
And she's like, well, I have a solution. Now that I've eaten one of them, let me see if I can trace their memories, see what they saw. Am I allowed to do that, DM?
What's the idea?
She's going, since they've been following her, maybe she can see where they came from by tracing their memories.
Do you have a detect thought spell?
That's why I wanted to ask you, because
But I'm asking you, do you have a detect thought spell? Because that's what you would be needing to do.
Oh, I don't think I do. Let me double check. I can use Awakened Mind to talk to them, though, I think.
Make in mind, you can telepathically speak to any creature you can see within 30 feet of you. I need another language to understand. We'd be speaking to it, not necessarily understanding where they came from. That and they're birds, so they wouldn't understand an animal. Do not have detect thoughts.
Well, can I talk to my patron, and maybe they can know where those birds came from?
Make me a religion check.
Let me check my stats here. I don't have anything.
All right.
15. 15.
Hey Pyro, can you invite Nova to tabletop?
Why do you always expect I know all the answers? You always seem to guess that as I'm all great and I know all the answers. Because you're damn right I know where they fucking came from. They came from the sky.
But they seem to be following us.
Well, you have their food, apparently.
I don't have any food for them.
What do you call a defiled creature, you slime?
Oh. They're after that.
In a moment, I'm gonna make you eat it.
Alright, I think I sent you an invite, Nova.
And she's like, I already ate it. I ate it as an offering.
So you're gonna have pretty much like just a short conversation of just like, no, no, you didn't. Yes, I did. No, you didn't. Yes, I did. No, you didn't. And Tori, you eventually lead the Wendigo to the shaman shop. while hearing her and touch her behind you. No, yes, I did. Yes, I did. No, you put that back. Put that back. I just see him creeping on the side of my screen. Put that back. Oh, I just realized.
That's not what I was trying to highlight.
I just realized I haven't had the fucking characters on screen the whole damn stream. Whoops!
You dipshit. So where's this shaman shop? I'm gonna put Tetra a little bit behind them.
Okay.
Actually, I guess this would... I'm not really sure which way the streets are, so... Good enough.
Well, I accepted the invite, and it just opened the simulator. That's it.
Pyro, can you invite Nova? Oh wait, I figured out how to actually invite people. So let's see if that one works.
So, you enter in. If you could think of what witch doctor shop seems like, this is the epitome of it. Like, textbook definition,
Like Dr. Facilier's shop from Princess and the Frog.
I've never seen it, so I can't say or deny. But it makes the hag from Snow White's like little workshop look like it's tamed and organized with the level of just how much random shit there is in here. Like half of the stuff you're looking at is like, what the fuck is this doing in here?
And Tetra's
It's
like,
not working.
and Tetra's like, I think I saw this in the study once.
Yeah, see, I'm hitting play game.
I'm gonna press the bell. Can you invite Nova Pyro?
I have.
I have the game open. Just open, like,
Okay.
invite me through the fucking game.
I have. I am.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
Press the little plus button. Pyro.
Okay. Plus send.
Why is it not working?
What do I know?
So, with the shaman there, if he deals with all kinds of magic hoo-ha, he'd probably recognize Tetra as
Banished immediately to the Shadowfell.
he'd probably be able to see. It'd be like
I'm pulling a dozer on you.
So as you enter, you see all this stuff. You see a cauldron bubbling. It's boiling. It reeks of death, but also flowers, but also blood, but also pleasant. It's like a mixture of pleasant and grotesque at the same time. Like you do not know which to be smelling, the good or the bad, because there's just a blend of both. It's like the level of a war crime of putting mustard on crab legs.
it's like an egg ate garlic and farted in a sulfur pit.
Sure, we'll go with that. But anyway, you see no shaman. You see that this place is actively alive, like he or she or they. You hear a voice. It's just, what do you want in my presence? Nah.
I got a thing to tell you.
Thing to sell? One has acquainted. How can I be of assistance?
And Tetra's
I have
like,
one Wendigo corpse to sell.
You see like a shimmer of your sight shimmers for a moment, like you swear to God you saw something, as if something invisible or at least camouflage is moving around in the shop as it just creeps and crawls down. And as you watch the Wendigo head literally get lifted up and its jaw is just dropped because of its just limp body and corpse. And not before long, you see the jaw get widened and widened before it's literally just snapped and making like a straight line as the jaw is completely dislocated and just rankles off of its bone. As the whatever is holding this thing, clearly camouflaged, like some predator armor, is intently counting each tooth and is intently like noting all the cracks and details and trying to. They're looking for something. You're trying to look for a detail of something.
What is she looking for? Victoria doesn't know what the hell is happening.
You can make me a nature check if you wish, or a religion check. Hey, babies. Hello.
Alright, neither of
those.
those things are going to be very good, guaranteed.
Give me your snoot. I wish to boopeth. Boop. What do you want, child? Hey, BPs. Rawr. Come here. Let me love you. Come here.
They're exactly the same. So, all right. We got a 9 either way.
Well, which one are you doing? Nature or religion?
Nature.
Nature. So you're seeing that they're paying more attention to the teeth. So they're definitely looking for detail on the bone. If you had to take a guess, they're trying to see the...
Apologies. Hey, I was trying to pick it up.
So you see they're paying attention to the teeth. They're probably either trying to see the condition or the age of the bone. Before long, you watch as they take a scalpel off of the counter, and you watch as they're... So you know those old school pillows, how if you like rub your hand against it one way, it's one design, but if you rub it another, the opposite way, it's a different one.
Yep.
So imagine his scales literally like flip back, like the motion of those bits of plastic would, and reveal this massive lizard folk.
Not a Zaza, because a Zaza was short. Disappointing.
No, this one is every good bit of like 5'9", close to 5'10", and it has got the biggest fucking Notre Dame hunchback. It's wearing what looks like an elk skull over top of its face that it's looking through the eyepieces of. Its tail literally just having what looks like vertebrae wrapped around it like fucking tail armor or something. Wearing like a feather mantle of various colored feathers as if they were plucked from like 30 different species of bird. As it's taking the scalpel and just strategically just undoing the what skin and fur he can to deflesh the Wendigo, as it takes the literal ball socket of the shoulder and just right out of it, and it's inspecting it and just literally shoving its tongue literally in the socket as it just scrapes out bone marrow.
That's a young one. Young, ripe, fresh, and quite healthy. It was definitely eating very well, wherever it was. And the blood, rich, iron, such powerful, bold flavor. Yes, this will do nicely. What are you wanting for this?
Victoria's gonna look at Tetra real quick.
They definitely have the body language and the voicing of they want this, but if the price is right.
Let's negotiate. You name your price on them, mine.
30.
Tetra's like
30 what?
Gold.
Go.
Tetra's
I'm gonna
like,
need to bump that up a little bit. My compatriots and I have gotten rather injured in the way. Let's say 80.
Tetra's like, could I ask for something?
We're not getting items with this, because that's gonna try and change the price.
I would like something though.
You
What?
watch as literally one of its eyes like twitch off to the side to look at you while the other is still looking at Victoria like some fucking chameleon shit.
And she's like, would you happen to have a librum of souls and flesh?
The eye immediately darts back at Victoria.
Let's say some a little more like 80. I know it's a child, but considering it can make itself invisible, it was quite the labor to take down.
Invisible, you say? You watch as it takes like this massive it's not even a staff. It's like this massive hunk of tree wood that has a bunch of like voodoo shit wrapped around it and like a literal raven head at the top. As it drags the beak down the spine, as it literally splits it open clean, like the sharpest razor blade in the world, running through hempen twine. It just splits open into threads very easily. And it just just sticks the beak in between two vertebrae and just splits the spine open. And you just hear it just very until the beak is digging into the bone marrow again. As this lizard folk takes this purple dyed, I'll just say, purple dyed lens glass, circular, almost like a monocle, pretty much, and it starts looking at the spinal cord blood as it just starts dripping out.
This one. Now that you mention that, the price has just gone up. Oh, the potions I will make with you. 200.
I'm liking that number. Give me just a second to confer with my friend. Victoria's gonna walk over.
Let me try to shortchange us. Bump it up again.
So
No. Victoria's gonna walk over, whisper to Tetra, just nod and smile like I'm talking to you. Because Tetra's several feet away, right? And Victoria's just gonna quietly whisper nonsense to Tetra.
I have absolutely no idea what this lizard sees in this corpse, but clearly it likes what it sees. If it's willing
Nesia's ass is not over here.
Yeah, so, Leisha and Luna has joined the whole party. The whole party's together with the exception of Amethyst.
So,
okay, so everyone's over here now.
So Tetra's like, the whispers declare that I could use a Librum of flesh and souls.
The hell's a Librum?
And she's like...
Anyways, Victoria's gonna head back around after a few minutes of just...
So
talking.
Tetra's like, I follow what the patron says.
I think we'll take that 200 there.
And wise decision. Come, child.
And if you watch as it takes the...
I'm 21. I'm an adult.
I'm 642.
What the fuck? Lizard folk don't live that long.
As you watch as it takes the staff that it's been using to pretty much carve this thing fucking open, takes it and he uses it to pretty much get him off the ground, and he's using it as a walker. As you see, he's pretty slow, but he's also very hunched over, and he's getting around decent for his apparent age. And he goes over to behind the counter.
I'm older than most elves.
And they take out this literal ingots of gold and just trace literally just 200 on the top of the ingot. Just starts muttering an incantation as the eyes of the raven skull begin to glow a nice white, and will just drag a line across as if it was crossing out the 200, and taps it, and you just watch as the ingot turns into 200 perfectly pressed, minted gold pieces.
And
So Tetra.
how many people are there? There's 6. Well,
Luna and Nishan can fend for themselves. The gold is for you guys.
So Tetra walks up and she's like, "Can I ask?
Alright.
Can I ask a question?"
I may have answers, but my services do cost fees.
And she's
So
like,
depending how we divide this.
"So
She's talking to Heineken right now.
Tetra's like, I have ways of procuring items which may intrigue you.
So
You
do
seem-
I, but anyway.
You seem like the type who values a good, well, a few organic trinkets."
I value that of which is of history, witchcraft, voodoo, and natural substances.
I have something I've been saving for a very special occasion. It's been ruminating for a while, but I think it might work for you. My patron says that I should part ways with it. And she proceeds to reach her entire forearm down her throat. And starts like feeling around and pulls out something and hands over a freaking black as onyx pearl.
Interesting.
And she's like, the patron refers to it as a heart of darkness.
I refer to it as food, but anyway.
And she's like, this is a little more useful. You can use it for whatever you choose, but I wanted to see if you have a Libram of souls and flesh.
All right, I'm gonna be blunt and honest with you, Connor. What in the hell are you talking about?
Well, okay, so I apologize. I apologize, DM. So a Libra of souls and flesh. I know like wizards and necromancers use that kind of thing, but she wants to see it, read it, and see if her patron can use something to summon an aberration if the time ever arises for it.
So, not only is it a wondrous rare item, it requires attunement of a wizard. So even if you got your hands on it, you couldn't do anything with it.
Okay, I was reading and see if there was any items in a store like this I could use for someone who specializes in aberrations. I just didn't know what I could use.
I mean, you forget, I literally have a book that I just recently finally got my hands on of literally 1,000+ magic items. I could probably find something.
Yeah, Tetrid basically asks, do you have something for, say, darker means?
D&D stuff, PDFs, Ultimate Treasury. Control F, Necromancy. Yeah, you're definitely not getting that one. That's a wondrous legendary. That requires the attunement of a wizard. That is an artifact. You ain't getting artifacts this early on. There's also an artifact. I think I'm getting spells at this point. You're a warlock. I think you can use this. Let me see what this is. The item I've got in hold. I have a way of doing this. Okay.
So yeah, Tetra says that asks if they've got something of darker means because her patron got bored and decided it wanted to have fun and wants to see if Tetra can get it wants to help Tetra, air quotes. And just for the record, that whole black pearl thing that she reached in and pulled out, she's only going to do that once, so don't worry about her doing that again. She can only do that once. Those things are not easy to make.
So I'm just going to do one of these. There you go.
Oh.
I just add a couple nerfs so that you don't pretty much get some crazy. Oh wait, I forgot to add this. Hold up. How the fuck? What the fuck? How the fuck? What the fuck?
We might have.
There we go. There we go.
Okay, so yeah, after Tetra asks that
So the little shaman will they'll take the purple lens once more to the pearl and start inspecting it.
Dark magic, you'll say. They might have something. Let me see.
And you watch as it starts going into the back room as you hear it start fumbling around, and they pull out this fairly large. It's bigger than them. It's about the same size as your staff. It's a staff that has a bit of a curve and then an immediate notch and then curve again, similar to how like a scythe has. Not a scythe, but a sickle. But imagine if the blade of a sickle was just very like stretched out, so that it's pretty much just like one long banana curve. And on the top of it, it appears to be like an orc skull with vampire fangs and a bunch of miscellaneous hordes coming off of the cranium. And the part that you would hold right under the skull is wrapped around in a red thread. The wood of this staff appears to be very brittle, very stringy, very used.
And Tetra's like, that will do just fine.
For that price, it better.
And you'll watch as it, like, with its middle finger and thumb, just pick up the pearl with its nails and just keep it pinched before tucking it away in a pocket on their mantle.
And and she's like, so she carefully takes the staff, and she's gonna hold her staff and this staff together, like pressing them against each other's like, begin the merge. She can't really get rid of her old staff, so she's just gonna have them merge together.
Could just have two staffs and switch on and off.
As I say,
You could
the way that this
do-
one is worded, you're gonna have to do that.
You could just dual wield them.
Yeah, just go in two staffs, both staffs firing
Like
spells.
ski sticks.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
there you go.
love the idea of
So,
no matter where Tetra goes, she's just always on skis. And not like the small ones either, the big ass Olympic skis.
So DM, how do you what cool way do you have for them to merge?
They can't.
Because your one staff is a sentient item, it physically cannot. Like it's one of those, if you break it, it will just meld back itself together. It cannot be changed of its form, so it cannot merge.
Oh, so well, to be fair, it like the tendrils themselves just like straighten up to form the staff anyway. So wouldn't it be able to like uncoil and then like fuse to this one, like just wrap around it?
I mean, it can uncoil and latch itself on top of it, like you putting a second piece of dongo on a stick.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say, is that because because like it's not like it's gonna understand that because it's a parasitic life form, it can literally uncoil itself and just kind of like attach itself to this new staff. That way I'm still carrying both of them.
Well, once it uncoils, the other staff just becomes a literal stick.
Oh, well, I guess she has two staffs then. One she carries with her tail, and the one that she has to carry with her hand.
Yeah, just dual wield them.
When we do the updated
So the
Tetra
shaman is just
model,
going to
that
like
could be
look
done.
over at the rest of the party, disregarding Kana and Tori.
Do the rest of you mortals wish to make another purchase? Or have something of use for trade?
The use of what?
Trade.
Wait, did the entire party just let Victoria, who is the smallest member, move this whole
Yes.
this thing that's like bigger than assholes?
Your mess, you clean it. So Melanie, do you wish to do
wasn't her
anything or
mess.
no?
Huh?
So the shaman is looking at Heineken and Melanie.
Do the rest of you mortals wish to make some kind of purchase or bear an item worthy of trade?
I don't know. Ooh, wait, let me check my inventory real. Bam, definitely not that page.
Heard that's the horny page.
No, that's just the fucking regular page. That's not even Melanie's fucking inventory. That's Akasha's inventory. Ah, here we go.
You have all your characters written in one document.
No, I just have these two characters specifically together so that I can keep track of like the bullshit because they basically are essentially the same character, kinda.
Shenanigans, got it.
Okay, I really like the spells that this staff has.
No, you can carry your ass over there and go lay the fuck down and get out of my face.
Shy.
I am tired of yelling at you. I am genuinely tired of yelling at you. Just go lay down.
And muted.
DM.
Watch immediate.
Bro, I keep telling her she can't do that on stream. Like the TOS. Like what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah. DM.
What's up?
Whoa. I really like the spells on this for this staff. I have one question.
I have an answer.
The undead that she raises, could they be like very squiddy aberration, like freaking necromorphs from Dead Space?
I think it specifies the way they get raised.
I know, but because of her patron's influence, I'd love for these things to just be the most horrific things that you could possibly like bring up. Like they're subservient to her, but they're like freaking. These things are freaking monsters. They're still counted as undead, but they're just horrifying.
Yeah, I'd say the fact that zombies exist are pretty monsters.
I just didn't know how else to classify what I'm thinking of except like friggin' necromorphs. Because that's basically like aberration zombies. Like they're friggin' necromorphs.
So, anyways,
So what was the
Victoria's
original
gonna-
question?
I was saying like when Tetra summons like undead, can they be like tendrily, fleshy abomination?
Well, it would
looking?
be the equivalent of the spells. So if you cast Animate Dead, they are literally just undead. They are raised from the dead, and you control them.
Okay.
So
'cause
whatever they are, they become. The Create Undead, I would need to see the wording of the spell. Create Undead. You choose 3 corpses, up to 3 corpses. Each corpse becomes a ghoul. On each, as a bonus action, you make delete commands. Each creature, if you control multiple, you can command all or any at the same time, issuing us the same or different. You decide what action the creature will take and where it will move to during its next turn. So pretty much, it's just wording how you word it. Okay. So pretty much, so Animate Dead is, I believe, a 3rd level spell. Correct me if I'm wrong. 3rd level spell that allows you to animate a corpse. Create Undead is you animate up to 3 corpses. Power Word Raise Army is a, if this is 6th, then that must be an 8th level spell, and it is up to 6 corpses. So pretty much, as you are able to cast high level spells, the ability to raise more corpses is more.
All right.
Animate Dead's a third level. Creates an undead out of a pile of bones for a corpse, either into a skeleton or a zombie. And I don't know what the
Why does Patreon have limited versions of certain tiers? That's such a stupid thing.
First come, first serve kind of things. Like if you want to have only a certain number of slots for people to have
Like
certain
commission-
benefits. Yeah, like commission
I get
slots.
that, but it's bullshit when a post from a year ago I'm trying to view is locked behind one of those slots, and it doesn't change, and this particular artist doesn't later upload the post to their regular account like some will do, where it's like, oh, a month afterwards, or 3 months, or 6 months, or what have you.
next would be Summon Undead.
Just bullshit.
And Summon Undead's also a 3rd level.
So yeah. Now what? So Tetra just walks over and she's like, "Now what do we do?"
Well, I believe I still have more business potentially.
And he's looking at Melanie and Heineken.
Do any of you wish to make a purchase or trade?
Well, that depends what you got.
Dark arts, voodoo, medicinal. I have things of nature. I have things of the dead. Things of the brews. Things of the voodoos. I have things.
You're on repeat now. You caught me at Things of the Dead, and shit, I just had it in my head. Fuck. It was the first thing you said.
So, I reiterate, while my stocks may be limited,
That's what
my
it was.
options are still open. So what might be a pleasure?
What do you got for Dark Arts and Dead?
All kinds. What are you looking for?
Bugs?
Books. I have many at home. Anything in specifics? Learning, history, traceable.
Preferably summoning, if that's okay.
Summoning tomes.
Tetris.
He's gonna look you up and down.
She's just gonna smirk seductively, but at the same but at the same time sinisterly.
Well,
But only he can see this smirk. She's using her
well,
pigtails to kind of hide the sides of her face.
what
Yeah.
I do have for content, you would not
Yeah.
be able to use, unfortunately. You have not acquired the, to put it politely, arcane
Oh,
capabilities.
it's not for me.
Oh, do elaborate. Because I am careful who I make trade to. I do not wish
It's
for
for my
certain,
sister, once I find her.
for I wish not to, for certain content to be withhanded into certain hands. The last thing I need is for my work to be handed to that of which
Hey,
causes
you're fine.
chaos.
It's gonna be locked away in my freaking bag right here anyway. Well, it is until I find my sister. Then she can have it. Consider it just a gift for when I find her. After I smack her with it.
So you say summoning. One can summon
Yeah.
many a trove. Which do you wish to summon?
Normally, she just summons whatever the hell she needs for whatever the hell she's doing.
Well, you can summon the undead, you can summon that of a demon, the fae, that of another plane, that of a dream or a memory, that of
I'd
which...
go with that of the dead. Definitely that of the dead.
And he'll start like fingering through a couple of his books as he starts tracing one of his nails across the bindings. And then he'll, with his index finger and thumb claw, he'll just pull out a tome and just brush it off and hold it over to you. And it's literally just a tome of Raised Dead.
Oh, nice.
$18
Silver or gold?
gold. I do not handle silver. Silver is meaningless to me.
She pulls it out and plops it right on the counter, leaving her with 22 gold left.
Well, how much did Victoria distribute among the party?
Well, that issue hasn't been disputed yet, so
My gold was not even out of that portion. This is out of my
Victoria is
pocket.
still holding the 200 gold in a little, like, in a pouch that has it separately. waiting patiently for everyone to get done so she can talk to people. So it's in her possession currently, but not added to her own funds yet. So we're still waiting on that.
Heard the jury's still out on that.
Yeah, let Heineken go, then I guess we'll talk about it.
Now, for the cats, do you wish to make a purchase or trade?
Hold on 1 second. I need to ask someone. He's just going to turn directly around. Wait a few seconds. Turn straight back. No, I think I'm good. And he's good.
There you am. Pleasure doing business with all of you.
So, as the group leaves, Victoria's just gonna casually tug on Heineken's sleeve. So, divide by 4 or divide by 3, because the two who are somehow both the most normal and abnormal of our group don't seem to be short on cash.
How much did you get?
200, but one wasn't present to do the work. So my thoughts are between the 3 that did, or just be nice.
Divided by 5.
The chat? Who's the 5th?
Heineken?
Heard
You
Heineken
and
gets
him-
double portions.
You and him share one body.
Yeah, but
You,
we don't share the same personality and
but
thought.
you would. Well, now that seems like one person getting this
Well,
same
no.
getting double port.
If we
Do
promise the gold to him, he will make sure. He will literally take over my body to make sure that I don't spend his portion of the gold. I promise you, I've tried it multiple times before, and I've ended up very hurt for it.
You're a walking timeshare.
now I kind of want to see you try and spend the money just to see what happens.
I myself am mildly curious, but at the same time, I don't wish to see any kind of violence within oneself. I've heard depression is very brutal, but that gives a whole new meaning to beating yourself up.
Well, it splits more evenly than 3, but so wait. I guess the question is then 4 or 5, because
I am really.
the one that. Nisha, you're not part of this. You and Luna already indicated when I walked up to you a second ago you were good on cash. You're
Well,
not part of the discussion of how it's split.
And you gotta watch as Luna's eyes slowly drop into a scowl and very slowly turn to Nisha like you told them what?
So wait, now are we dividing by 7? Hold on. It just gets smaller and smaller amounts.
It appears there's been a conflict. I will see myself out.
And you watch as his scales flip back the other way and he goes full camouflage and just hides under the desk.
Victoria waited till the party was out of the store for that exact reason.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, retcon what I said being non-existent. I'm gonna go get a drink because fuck me, that shaman's voice is killing my throat.
It's just Azaza's voice.
No,
This is a Zaza. The Zaza is a little bit more high pitched, whereas this one is very more raspy and old and well.
Yeah, so you see.
Getting Pyro to do voices that kill kill his throat is for some reason funny. I might be a sadist, mildly.
I like
Uh,
Zaza.
Uh,
But Zaza is fantastic.
so looks like I got a new item.
So
Okay.
4 or 5.
Hmm.
Do you know, dude? Do you know what I was given?
A staff.
You got a new staff, Ted.
You got a fancy paper.
We're trying to
paperweight.
figure out the money. Victoria is just not quiet. Being a pirate, the way she deals with money is different than the way everyone else deals with money. Because pirates work for shares.
Hey, you know what you should do?
What?
Put in a giant bottle of
Put in a giant Victoria buys a keg of rum.
on the map.
I'm not promoted, so I can't put in.
Wait, isn't there one? Check it in my drawer.
Wait, is there a wrench bottle? Because I can make any wrench bottle giant. No, there's no wrench in your drawer.
But is there a giant Manea?
Yes.
You know what to do.
Oh, damn it, there's no wrench anywhere on the map.
Fuck. Even in your, did you check your drawer?
Yeah, my drawer is always open, so I never hit a wrench in my drawer. Because my drawer is where I have my little, like, I have the quote-unquote original old versions of the models, but technically since the table's been reset a couple of times, this is like the 5th iteration of the originals. Because I have Armaeus Classic, I have technically I have Armaeus Classic to the stream, I have Jack Classic, I have Gallard Classic, and I have Greg Hammer Classic. Although technically, no, that's not Greg's Switch State. However, there is like a full-on Greg Classic somewhere around the table. And I mean like completely unedited original stance, and I think it's this one actually. See, I forgot which of the two dual-wielding sword in the original variant armor is the Greg Classic model, so to speak. I think it's the one where his feet are actually close together. Actually, I can tell by turning them sideways. Yeah, so the first model in the line of characters by my portion of the table of all the different variant models, that is Greg Classic. Then we have Armaeus Classic Tunic V2. Oh no, wait, that's Armaeus V2 standard, I guess. Then we have Classic Manea as well. We have Captain Hustis, who there's only one variant of, so doesn't have a classic one. Brynel, who there's only one variant of. Cynthia Skolark. Various other Manea iterations. A Jack Classic behind Jack corrected model when I realized I could use advanced posing to make him play his accordion. Because for whatever reason, of all the non-two-handed instruments, accordion is one of them. Makes perfect sense, right? No, it doesn't. Why doesn't the accordion have a two-handed option? But so anyways, 4 or 5.
5. And can I see 2 of them? It'll split up again.
Because
It'll split 40 among
Yep.
beta.
Well, you got 2 separate coin pouches, or just one?
Don't worry, I have an idea for them. Oh, but yeah, here. He just goes out and holds out 2 little empty pouches.
So Victoria's gonna use one hand and grab out exactly 40, dump it in one. Use one hand, grab exactly 40, dump it in the other.
Alright, cool. Now it's just,
I completely forgot I had a fucking massive ass block of cheese from Thanksgiving. So I'm now eating a massive ass block of cheese from Thanksgiving.
Okay. And as soon as...
And by massive, I mean a literal foot long of cheese.
What in the fuck?
Why do you have so much fucking cheese?
What, did you start dating a fucking farmer?
No, when I was planning for the Thanksgiving party with the guys, I went to the food pantry that were giving out
I
food
thought
for the
that was a
Thanksgiving.
Christmas party.
What was it, Christmas? I don't know. But either way,
Yeah.
I went to a food pantry, and they gave me like a literal like old school brown paper bag, like shopping bag amount of like random food. And one of them was a literal foot long block of cheddar. And it's been sitting in my fridge
That
ever
sounds
since.
good as fuck.
It is good as fuck. Like, I looked up the price of this fucking block. $30 retail.
Whew.
I paid a fuck all for it.
Alright. Well, as soon as she finishes putting in the coins in the pouches, he's just going to look over to the side and say, no. No. Fine. He's going to say in like a childish, doesn't want to do it manner. But then he's just going to walk over towards Nisha and Luna, then hold out both pouches.
Nisha's just gonna hold his hand out and just shake it. Coin is no object to me. At least, not of right now.
I
No,
don't
no,
care. He told me to give it to you.
Why me?
I don't know.
No, he's looking at Victoria and asking this.
Well, I didn't tell her. I didn't tell him. He's talking about the voice in his head. To be honest, I'm not entirely sure that he and Heineken are really different people.
He's telling me to be a nicer person, I guess. Be more charitable. So if you
Eva
don't
seems
take
to
it,
enjoy the cheese. She's yum 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 yum.
so if you don't take it, someone else will get it.
And Luna will just like swipe both of the pouches and just give Lanisha like the biggest death glare of like, still the same death glare of like, you said what to them? We don't need what? We can do what? Like that kind of look.
And he's just
See,
gonna
now
turn away.
Victoria is wishing she didn't say anything about getting the money, about how much she actually got. Just...
No, Luna doesn't care of how much they got. It's the fact that Nisha just spoke for her of, oh, we can fend for ourselves, and she didn't catch on until you said that. And then she's like, all bundled up in his jacket, all nice and cozy, and then just suddenly just the eyes slowly go
Mario
from cheerful.
Kart Luigi death stare.
Not even. It just goes from happy and joyful to just, you fucking said what?
You're right. The Mario Kart Luigi death stare is what Greg has now. Greg has built himself a throne, and he is sitting in it, staring at Drakic.
They're just having a stare off.
Except for Drakic doesn't have a mind or anything.
I think the baby likes the cheese, because dear God, she's licking my fingers clean.
Victoria's gonna give Tetra 40.
Kinda, you hear that?
Yeah, I hear it.
So
Tetra's
go,
like,
yeah, so go ahead and add that to your inventory.
Then she looks at Akasha, thinks to herself for a second.
How can I milk this experience?
Do I do the right thing or do I do the pirate thing?
You weren't there, fuck off.
Exactly.
so Tetra's like, all right, I got the gold. I don't know where I put it, so I'm just gonna put it in my knapsack.
So Victoria will walk over to
I'm gonna put the
Akasha
cheese
and
back.
give her the 40 gold. Are you just taking straight bites out of that block of cheese?
I'm going to bet. Yes.
Wait, you're going to bed?
I'm going to bet. Yes.
Okay. Fucking absolute monster, not even slicing off pieces of cheese to eat, just ruining it for everyone else.
But I might go to bed early. 11:30.
Alright, I'm back.
Alright, hey. Real quick. I'm gonna head to bed early. 11:30.
Okay.
You guys, I just found the fucking surge protector I need.
So, do any of us have an idea of what to do next? I believe
Oh.
our lady over here seems to have an idea. References to Victoria.
Victoria gave Akasha 40 gold.
Okay.
Alright, I now have 280.
Child, I don't have any more cheese for you. I put it away.
Could have just lied to everyone and told them I got 100 gold. Next time.
Nerd.
Insight.
Gun.
Insight.
What's your insight check gonna do against having a gun pointed at you?
I'm going to put my hand in between the hammer and the back of the gun.
Victoria chain whips your ass in the balls.
Grabs
Ow.
gun, turns around, bam.
What'd you say, Sean?
Grabs gun, turns around, let the hammer drop.
Who says it's not the broken gun pointing at you? Because remember, only I know which gun's functional. So you could grab the wrong one. You could grab the prop gun.
Okay, vicious mockery. Stinky head.
Victoria casts Vicious Mockery right back at you. Fleabag.
Counterspell. Short.
Fucking. Is that how Counterspell actually works? Would it just redirect it? I thought it just stopped it altogether.
No, it literally just cancels it.
Yeah, that's what I thought it did.
Yeah, but it's still funny because I get to say that you're short.
I mean, Victoria still called you a Fleabag. Anyways, so I think we're gonna need to head back to the town we came from and start figuring out where the crystal is from there. Because if I'm not mistaken, Yorif brought us somewhere more in the center.
So we gotta find what exactly.
I don't really know.
Well,
Nisha,
first
Me-
off, the next thing that I have here listed in the book of what we're supposed to be doing, at least to continue on our quest here, it says we need to learn of the location of which bears the crystal. Now, unfortunately, Sweetheart over here is a little too young to have known where any of the locations are, so we're purely at the mercy of either locals or, well, spirit text.
well, I say we go back to the other town, because as much as I think my family might have a map, I think they're gonna. I think we should do something else for a minute.
Well, what about going to the library and asking there?
I
I
believe we
don't
would
know.
still need to go to the last place we've. Well, I can't say the last place we visited, but where we first arrived would be a more appropriate phrase.
These little towns don't have libraries. They're not far from the main town, but you can't see the main town from any of them because the geography of the place. While it is in a plain, it's still fortified by the mountains and snow. You gotta know the path in which to get into where it is. Which
Now,
I
once we learn of the location, I believe the book would carry on. But ever since we first arrived, the book has not provided any more details, so clearly we have missed a step. Or we have just simply not continued on, as it's implying, but either way.
Perhaps we should.
It never hurts to get a little bit of work done to build up some coin. Because, well, as the book implies, once we enter the temple, there's no return until the deed is done.
Perhaps we should. Perhaps we should go back to the town then. I suppose someone could lead the way.
Everyone starts looking at Victoria.
I didn't take a seat. We got brought back high. Let's just go find a transport back. Does anyone remember the town name?
Everyone just starts looking awkwardly, like, nope.
Well, anyone have any
one.
ideas?
No one remembers where we need to go.
Only the town
Besides
that we.
Wadasani, I'm not sure.
Not what. That's where we're at.
Oh, aren't we supposed to head north then? Or was it northeast?
No, we're fairly fucking north. It's hard to get norther than this.
Any more north, we'd see Santa.
Who the fuck is Santa?
Fucking cold for some reason. Sorry.
Anyways, I guess what we need to figure out is how to get back to where we were.
Well, unless anyone has any ideas on how we're supposed to do that, I don't know what we can do.
Well, are we able to find the carts that brought us?
Maybe he might have left already, though.
You could just grab another.
Yeah,
This is
but they might.
delightful. Another!
It's fucking Thor.
A cart. You say the cart travel. Another, please.
Alright, so I guess we're gonna look for we're gonna go to the edge of the town and wait for a cart.
Yep.
Could look around in town.
Nope, we're waiting at the edge. We're waiting for one going in our direction.
All right.
So you go to where you last saw the cart. He's still sitting there.
Oh. Hey, hey. Is that our man?
What was he doing there? Playing exotic bird bingo?
Napping.
Me?
No, the
I'm lost. I'm not gonna fucking lie.
You guys are at the system. So yeah, you guys are now here. So you guys
Oh.
just gonna hop on?
yep.
Sure.
Probably best to approach the man first.
Now we hopping on. We jumping.
So as soon as you hop on, you... Oh, all done? You want back?
Yep. Yep.
Cool. So you turns the horse around and then they start going off.
He picks up the horse and the wagon, one in each hand, physically turns them around.
Hold on, I have to move the cart.
This
Oh,
guy's related to Greg. You can't tell me that's not what you picture in your head.
You're right, I didn't picture it in my head.
So about 8 hours worth of travel goes by. Yada yada yada.
You pass the same cult again.
Yeah, you pass the druids, you pass the grave, which instead of a piping bowl of ramen, it is now a piping bowl of soup. Just thought I should note that.
Victoria continues to just swivel the working gun at everyone as they pass the grave. Don't fucking touch that shit.
Do it, I dare you. Alright, and you're back in town.
Alright, now we execute everyone and
Dear God.
we become the villains.
All right, now what we got to do is we got to figure out where to start asking.
Good question. Where do you start asking?
I assume maybe the mayor knows.
Etra can go ask the mayor where the Christie area is on her own.
Really, no one's gonna accompany me?
No one's gonna go do something that's gonna get us jailed.
Well, I don't know. I'm trying to think of ideas.
Well, first we need to find people we can trust before we start trying to figure out where that is. We should probably start with finding some work around town to build trusts.
I don't know how much good that's gonna do. Well, I mean, how do we even begin to accomplish that?
I don't know. So, Nija, your book say anything?
Well, let's take a look. The only information it really offers is, and I quote, "As I wandered through this in-depth environment I am surrounded by after exiting off the aircraft which was brought me here, I figured it would be a great time to take a look and see where I could find the location of the temple that bears the crystal. For my true love does not bear any memories of where its location would hold. Granted, this is her homeland. Too young to remember any of the events. A bunch of yada yada yaddies. Nothing really specific, just stating we need to find a way."
Y'all can ask about the
Doesn't give insight of
Christian.
how we get it, it's just a matter of we need to get it. Rather intriguing.
Yep. Y'all can do the research for that. I'm gonna go see if anyone needs help with any kind of problems. So
How do you wish to go about that?
Victoria's just gonna go look and see if there's like a notice board, a town hall, anything where
there is a town hall, of course there is.
Yeah, she's just gonna go see if there's like a notice board, a bounty board.
Roll me a D100.
A D100, you say? Uh, 82.
Okay. 82?
Yep.
Alright, let me look on my table here. That's fucking hilarious. Alright.
What?
I'm just reading some of the things I've got on my table. And just immediately. Notice board. Okay. So with your 82, you will see a piece of paper that immediately sticks out to your eye. Just for the wording of it. Attention adventurers. The local alchemist, Professor Elar. Sorry.
Good.
Professor Ilara seeks brave souls to embark on a perilous journey into the enchanted forest to the east. The professor believes that within its depths lies a rare herb with unparalleled magical properties. The catch, the forest is well known for its ever-changing paths, illusions, and bewitching creatures. Handsome compensation, recognition, and a vial of their custom potion of a token of gratitude. You can find them within the Scholars Library.
And Victoria takes a piece of paper.
Sure.
All right, Victoria's gonna take the paper and go find the rest of the group. So I imagine somewhere like there is where she's at. Oh, that makes more sense. I didn't see that one.
No, you're fine.
I imagine since she's parted way from the group, they're elsewhere trying to figure things out.
All right, so while Victoria's way far ahead, what is Melanie doing?
Melanie is just kind of trailing along behind everybody, not really sure what's going on.
Oh,
She just knows that, well, we're on our way somewhere now.
does Tetra still have a slap mark on her face?
Doubtful.
Roll for perception.
Would you like another one? So, okay, if Melanie's trailing
from
behind the
across
party,
town.
Victoria is separated and gone on ahead. What is Tetra doing?
Tetra, I guess, in this, I guess she's gonna like, she saw the message board and she's like,
Well,
Is anyone-
okay, well, Victoria is far off ahead. She's separated from the party.
all right, so Tetra is like, well, what are we doing?
That's a good question. Victoria seems to trying to find us some work to potentially build reputation. If you request or require any kind of anything else that could be in the vicinity,
Well,
now
I
would be the
assume
time
that-
before we embark.
I'd assume that we should maybe read up on something in a library.
To the library it is, I suppose.
It's like all you got to do is tell me what to look for, and I'll try looking for it.
I don't know anything. Everyone keeps forgetting that. Why? My name is Ninja for a reason. It's a play on words for amnesia. And he's just talking to Luna about this. My name is Ninja. It's a play on words for amnesia. Why does everyone keep forgetting this?
Well, what your book knows. Your book seems to know more than you do, so whatever your book is suggesting.
I've told you plenty of times what it's suggesting. It doesn't change no matter how many times I read it.
Well, if we're going to find the crystal, we should probably read where the crystal is.
And the book just simply states that I need to find how to find it.
There should be a book on it in the library, perhaps.
That's what I was suggesting. All right.
So we're gonna go to the library.
All right. Entering into the library. It's not the biggest one you've seen, but it definitely ain't small either. It's every good bit of a moderate family-sized home size. Every good bit of probably 6 to 8 rooms. Walls coated in bookshelves. If you had to guess, there's at least just under 100,000 books of various sizes within these walls.
It's just like, wow. I bet you could find a memoir from Weird Al Yankovic here.
Bruh.
What's Melanie doing while they're in the library?
I'm glad that one made you laugh.
Nah, I've seen the meme of someone recreating that in Baldur's Gate. That's what clicked in my head. It was that fucking meme from Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
I have my mic muted. My bad. Melanie is outside picking familiar flowers and things, herbs and shit that she can see from where the group was. And that's about it.
Make me a
Just a
survival
handful of
check.
little things.
So
Um,
Tetra's
You
gonna
have
ask
a poison mushroom.
So Tetra's gonna ask the
19
librarian.
plus. Shit, where's my? What is that? Survival's under wisdom. Wisdom is 3 plus double, so 6. Plus 19 plus 6. 25. Dirty 25.
Damn, this song's been stuck in my head all day.
Okay, 25.
Yes.
So Tetra.
So I'm trying to get a list of herbs here. Okay. I'm trying to provide the names of the items she finds. Digging through my notes. There you go.
Got him.
All right, there you go. So you're saying Tetra?
I was saying that Tetra asked the librarian. She just says, "So, pardon me. I'm looking for some interesting historical reading material on something very important."
Ooh, will we have a lot of that, dear?
Would you be able to provide me with reading material on the water crystal? I just wish to research it for educational purposes.
Well, I would assume anyone who appears themselves inside of a library would wish to educate themselves. Now, as for the water crystal, there are various topics upon that, so if you would follow me, please.
And she does so.
And this little old lady will pretty much just take you to a certain corner of the library, and there's literally a whole shelf dedicated to the Christiary in terms of religious practices, the temple, the birth of it, what religious and natural history there is at least documented. There's a lot of fiction based around it, but there's also a lot of non-fiction based around it.
And just be
Okay.
sure that whatever you wish to take out, dear, that you make sure it's checked at the front desk.
Very well.
Pay no mind the fact that it's Professor McGonagall.
I
Today,
wasn't questioning
children,
it.
you'll be learning about.
Today, students will be learning about Wingardium Leviosa. Ron, put your wand away.
Personally,
That's not what she teaches. That's a short guy.
Damn it!
Yeah.
Let me make my jokes, damn it.
No.
Doesn't she teach?
Yeah. Personally, if you want a short guy to teach you, then it's Wingardium Mariosa.
There's the door.
See, the thing is, she teaches finances and taxes.
Woo! Woo! Come on, that was a good one.
No.
All right. I'm too tired to laugh at it.
If you want people to laugh at it, it won't be done.
Woo!
Good things never come out as expectations, but out of the work put into the item.
Yeah, that one was. You've done better.
But you've also done worse.
I've made the DM laugh today.
So, you're presented with various texts as the librarian will return
Who
back
is
to
ripping
her.
ass?
That's Pyro's chair, actually.
Is it? I don't think my chair's squeaking that much right now. No, it ain't
Oh,
No,
squeaking.
your chair.
Bro, it sounds like somebody is ripping ass like hardcore into the mic.
Oh
Um,
no,
the-
that's probably my bed squeaking.
Oh, is that Kana's bed creaking? I thought that was Pyro's chair this whole time.
I honestly
No.
thought somebody was just ripping ass. Yes, you know
No.
that. Whatever that is, that sounds like somebody's like dragging wood over rippled wood.
No, my bed creaks. That's
Yeah.
his chair.
Yeah,
That's my chair.
Huh.
Actually, I had to make my chair creak to do that.
Yeah, my bed creaks. It's it does that whenever I move on it. I have a good mattress. It just have a very creaky frame.
Like I said, you're presented with various texts.
Yeah. So Tetra's going to start reading on the temple itself and where it's located.
Roll me a d6 to see if you get the book you're reading.
All right.
I'm just going to say I'm going to have to go to bed.
No, you're fine, bub.
I literally just fell asleep for like a microsecond, and I thought I was back at drill all the way over in Queensbury. I was about to wake up, and I was about to shit my pants because I thought I was going to get fucked. Oh my god.
That's a.
That's called muscle memory.
I rolled a 5.
I thought I was about to get fucking smoked, and I was like, oh,
I rolled a 5.
Rolled a 5? Okay.
Yeah.
So, I'm just going to straight send you the name of the tome.
Alright, you guys, you have a great night.
You too, Sean.
Peace.
All right. So I'm reading. Okay. So I'm reading that.
Yep, that's the book that you pulled.
Okay, so I'm going to read that.
Make me a religion check.
I don't have any stats in religion, so whatever I get is what I get.
What? I do not have stats in that.
12. It 15. Sorry, bad.
Okay. So reading over this textbook, you pretty much see that this is, if they were to put the Bible as like a history book, this would pretty much be the equivalent of how that would be for like a school setting. This book pretty much tries to give the equivalence of a modern retelling of how the world was made, the creation of the crystals, and their meaning in terms of the world balance. How each of them has their own power source that injects the planet to keep the natural elements in a state of balance, while also, like any other natural element, one will fight with another, and sometimes one will win, sometimes one will lose, but the others will try to counteract with it. And that is how, like, things like a volcano eruption, a hurricane, an earthquake, how a natural disaster will come across is when one crystal is overtaking another before it is rebalanced by a third. The the book will also go into an elaboration of the various keepers of the keeper of nature, life, death, time, and space, and their sons and daughters that make up the pantheon. It will go into detail of how each of the 5 keepers will birth a god or goddess within the 5 of them to make the 32 gods, which would be the pantheon of the world that everyone knows and everyone praises. Over the course of time, when mankind learns how to tap into the arcane arts, was birthed the 6th keeper, the keeper of arcane, to which they only managed to have a single child that was birthed out of themselves and another mortal, to which that individual was then became, we have the keeper of arcane, the god of arcane, and the daughter of arcane. These 3 individuals pretty much became the identity of what wizards wish to become, an ever-flowing curiosity for the unknown. They do not really list names, only their titles, throughout any of the narration of identifying who is being narrated. So we have the god of lust, the goddess of lore, the god of war, the goddess of fertility, the various gods and goddesses of the various states of existence are always named by their titles and not an actual name. And throughout the book, as you get towards the middle and the end, as you're reading this thing for like the next 4 hours, you slowly come to an understanding of how the pantheon was made, the keepers, them finding a dead star, they turn it into a planet, birth it life, and how the mankind and humanity's existence found these crystals and treated it as if those were the objectified embodiment of their creations. So, in respect of containing it, they built a temple suggesting to where it would be associated. So, within the crystal of fire, there is a temple within the center of a volcano. Within the crystal of earth, it is within the depths of a gorge. The crystal of air is contained within the center of one of the floating isles, while the crystal of water is created under a massive lake. It is pretty much like an Atlantis underwater thing. But judging by how each of these crystals were designed with their temples, they were designed with the intention of being an easily accessible temple to give worship and offering and prayer. But they seem to be made in a near impossible location to get to. Because how can one easily access being that far underwater without loss of breath? How can one enter in the midst of a volcano without being incinerated? How can one get to the depths of a gorge without having to endure the possibility of literally falling to your death? How can one get into the center of a
Low
floating
fall.
isle? Somebody smack this bitch!
Hey, yo, I'm not wrong.
But damn you for ruining my point!
Well, you should damn yourself for not thinking of that specific spell that exists in a magic world that is designed to slow people's fall.
Heard, Featherfall is not banned. Either way,
Pyro.
these four crystal temples, they're listed and documented to be in an impossible place to go to for worship and prayer, but yet they're also documented as a very accessible place where thousands, if not millions, of people go to for worship and prayer.
So after reading it that much and figuring this all out, she very gently closes the book up and puts it back.
I didn't understand a lick of that.
No,
Words.
she puts it back.
Words.
And she puts it back, and she's very respectful about it. She's like, there you go, nice and clean. All right, now then, nice and orderly.
Well,
All right.
did you manage to figure anything out?
And she's like, yes, I did. It appears that all the crystals are located in accessible places, but inaccessible at the same time. Accessible to the public, but getting to them is going to be very difficult in and of itself.
In other words, we need to find someone of which is still alive and has been there.
The water crystal, for example, is at the bottom of a very large lake. I can swim very well, and I don't have to worry about breathing underwater because of certain things I can do. But I imagine you guys don't have the kind of skills like a fish. So
Fortunately, I do not, nor do I bear the arcane to do so.
So unless some of you want to figure out a spell which can give you gills,
I think first things first is figuring out which lake it's located. Because that's the check on the map. Borun has quite the number of lakes.
They said it was the large one, so we have to find the largest one.
There's very large lakes.
Let's start with the largest and work our way down.
Heard. Let's use the logic for the first time.
We've used logic before.
Shh. Stick to the joke.
No.
Well, where do we start?
I feel like at this point is when Victoria would find the party after searching for the last 3 hours of where the fuck they went.
And
Victoria just assumed most of them are too stupid to understand to go to a library. Heineken, maybe. Would Luna think of it? Maybe, but she's too busy beating off Nisha.
Beating off Nisha, what?
Nisha, too much brain damage from being hit in the head with a book a million times. Tetra, too lost in her own world.
Melanie?
Melanie, unknown.
Horny, heard.
Yes.
But well, Tetra may be insane, but she's not. Well, but she has moments of lucidity.
Victoria hasn't really seen that.
And so Tetra comes out. She's like, "Let's go find Victoria and figure out what to do next."
Meanwhile, Victoria just so happens to be walking past the entrance of the library and sees you guys. So, I found a job that pays fairly well.
And Tetra's like, "I found information that can be very useful to us."
Well, we probably are gonna want to get good gear, 'cause I imagine Drakich's men would be guarding it. 'Cause think about it, Drakich is the one who fucked up the crystals. You really think he's not gonna have his soldiers keeping anyone from entering?
True, but
And
but
it's
if we're going,
probably not just his town guard people, it's probably his elite people.
we'll have to figure this one out. But what quest do you have? Did you find?
Going and getting some kind of herb from an enchanted forest. Victoria's just gonna hand the paper.
I'm sure that's not nearly as easy as it sounds.
I never said it was easy, I just said it paid well.
Well, is everyone willing to try that? If only to get us somewhere instead of nowhere. Anyone?
What was the initial question? Oh, I missed it.
I didn't.
I
I'm
was
not gonna lie, I'm sorry. I'm kind of dozing off.
saying that is everyone on board for this mission? Even though it'll at least get us somewhere rather than nowhere.
For all we know, we might be able to dig up a little bit of information of our own needing.
Yep. I mean, I'm in for it. I'm the one. Hey, who found it.
See, now's the time we get going then.
Alright, I say
I say we call it here.
Yeah, because I've stayed
I
up
feel
as
like
late
all
as
of us are slowly dozing.
I'm staying awake as long as I can. It's just I'm doing it with my eyes closed because I'm just resting my eyes a bit.
Word.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well, I'm gonna call it here then.
All right. I'm gonna get some rest. We'll pick it back up next